Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Welcome to Forget Work, Watch Films with your hosts, Tony Howe, Thomas Connors, and Robert Connors.
Hello everyone, welcome to Forget Work, Watch Films. I know what you're thinking, where have we been? We've just had a couple of weeks off, we need it now and then.
I think it was a contribution of floods.
Yeah,
as you well know, he flooded in.
I got stranded
And
felt like Jack Sparrow.
And work. So we couldn't forget work, but we did watch film.
Yeah, so, well, we're back now, and hopefully we're going to bring one out every single week. We've got lots to talk about. We've got some interesting news. We've got, we're going to get straight into it. We're off to Comic Con today in Sheffield, so we're going to have this little episode, and then our next episode is going to be all about Comic Con. But we're starting to make traction with this podcast. We've had over 600 downloads. We've got over 1,000 followers. So thank you everybody for being on this little journey with us.
When you try and think who's downloaded it over 600 times, you think
My mum.
You think what?
Yeah, she's probably following. So, where do we start off first?
Well, I'd just like to say first, obviously we are off to Comic Con, even though once again it's pouring it down. I just want to give a big thanks to the guys at Comic Con for sending us tickets so we could go and experience that. Obviously, we will then give a review on what it was like.
We're being picked up by a limousine, taken straight there to the heliport, being flown
Can
over.
I just say, it's the first time in my life that I've ever been to Bramall Lane.
Yeah,
I've never been to
held at the
Bramall
Sheffield
Lane.
United football ground, if anybody knows about football. And obviously Tom's a Sheffield Wednesday fan, so some people wouldn't even step in, like our friend John Bell. He wouldn't step in, but then again, that's a good thing.
I'm going to start off by letting everybody know that we've... How do we describe it? We've been in communication with one of our favourite websites in the world.
KG Hobby.
KGHobby.com.
Now what KG Hobby does is sells collectibles, hot toys, variations of hot toys,
movie props, replicas,
all sorts.
Now all three of us have absolutely hammered KG Hobby. We've bought hot toys off there, we've bought replica movie items.
It is a brilliant site. Ordering's easy. I mean, it's on my Christmas list.
I think off the top of my head I've had Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Rocket, Groot, Bucky Barnes,
I ordered
Thanos.
Some of you might have seen on some of our videos my replica Iron Man helmet, which is just unbelievable. But I actually ordered that from KG Hobby. But what is crazy with KG Hobby? So obviously they're based in Hong Kong, as far as I'm aware, and we're based in Sheffield, England. I've ordered stuff from them, shipped on a Monday. I've got it by Wednesday, Thursday. How does that work?
Yeah,
the shipping is.
I've ordered like books on eBay from places that are like 2 minutes down the road. And they've turned up about 3 months later.
Yeah.
I could have walked them faster.
Seems to be all I order from them.
One thing as well that's worth mentioning is, and you'll know this because obviously you've had plenty of packages from them. If you look at the invoice that's attached to the box, they always label the item as a gift, which avoids import charges.
Yeah.
You don't get held up in customs.
No.
So it's fast shipping. And no customs charges, which is always good because these items can be expensive.
Well, I bought my James Owlett. The first thing I ever bought was James Owlett, which is obviously the variation of Wolverine, because they don't just do official hot toys. they do the sort of like third party ones, and some of them I think are even better than like official Hot Toys one. That James Howlett one, which is basically Logan, were fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. They've got like at minute so much stuff on there. They've got Lost Boys, which cross fingers.
I think it's
is
just
on my
sold out,
Christmas
that, and
list.
I'm absolutely good because I missed out on
Bill
it.
and Ted. They've got they're releasing Mask. That one looks amazing. So many good things on it. If I had money, I would go mental.
Can I just say with KG Hobby, by the way, you know, if anybody wants to visit the site, just Google KG Hobby or kghobby.com. But the thing is with them, why would you go to any other vendor when you're buying it? Like, you could buy from a UK website, and fair enough, you're giving them custom, but they charge like they had a premium on top. It seems to be KG Hobby is the best price. Don't you
I
think?
haven't found any other site, and I've looked all out when I were during my mad Hot Toys crazy starting phase. I looked everywhere, and I tell you what, there ain't no other sites, and if there are other sites, they're extortionate, they're crazy. KG Hobby is the site which I always go on. It's on my main list on my websites. It's the one to go to. It's good prices. You can pick up some of them for for hardly out. You're not paying fruit nose like eBay prices.
They also, as well, when Hot Toys come up for pre-order, they have a system where if you pay it all in full for the pre-order, they give you a 3% discount. And obviously, the price of these toys, 3%, is actually quite a substantial amount. So
KG Hobby, we love you. And we'd like to maybe kind of work with you in the future. You know, maybe anything that comes up.
And for anybody who don't know about that site, but does collect collectibles, give it a go, give it a look. It is fantastic.
Yeah, give him a shout out.
kghobby.com. Couldn't be easier. So, yeah.
And by the way, actually, we mentioned we're going to Comic Con. Hopefully, we can mention to a couple of these people where we get our collectibles from. Get some KG Hobby some love. That'll be cool, won't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So, we've had a couple of week break. We're back now. Better than ever. We're back! Start with you, Tony. What have you watched in these 2 weeks of leave?
Well, the first week, obviously, I weren't in mood for watching out comedy. I felt like watching something with serial killers in. So, I was trying to watch Red Dragon, but I couldn't find it. So I watched the...
Full story.
This sounds like, well, I tried to watch this.
So I watched that extremely vile, extremely horrid
Zac Efron.
and I tell you what, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, it's different because they don't show you anything graphic. So, but the story and everything about it is really good. So, I can never remember bloody full name of it. It's... If anybody does,
I think it's in it extremely wicked, shockingly evil and vile.
That's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I know this is going to sound a bit stupid, but do you know now we're talking about Leonardo DiCaprio a few episodes ago saying found fame at a young age, but he seemed to carefully pick his roles.
Yeah.
Like he didn't. I think Zac Efron's kind of like that.
I totally disagree.
No,
I think Zac Efron will do anything.
Yeah, but what we're going to say is the difference is you do see Zac Efron crop up in a lot of stuff like Baywatch. But
Yeah.
I do think he has got the nads of a great actor.
Oh no, he were absolutely brilliant in that, and I think if that's the way, because obviously he broke out at sort of like teen things.
Yeah.
So High School
did
Musical.
Did you ever see Charlie St. Cloud that he did not long after High School Musical?
Yeah, I love that.
That were a
I
sad film, wasn't
So
it?
then he did a bit more sort of like romantic films. There's another one where he plays like a soldier who finds this picture of this lass, and it sort of like saves him, so he goes to find her. I can't remember what it's called, but that's a nice film. And he did a few of them, and then he did like Bad Grandpa, Baywatch, sort of like fun, daft films. And now he's sort of like gone into a bit more But I think that's a good actor. I think, in a way, you're right, because that's a good actor who can do different things.
He's
and
broke
go
out
into
of his
different
typecast,
genres.
hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's brilliant, and at one point it'd be a bit weird to say that you think Zac Efron's, but he is. He would, even in
I keep thinking you're going to say Zac Efron's fit, but if you want to, it's up to you.
no, he's good in Bad Neighbours as well as in a comedy film. Isn't
Oh, yeah.
Second one
but
was
that's
stupid.
the sort of Baywatch, Bad Grandpa sort of thing that he did at that time.
Yeah.
But I always get a bit not jealous on people like Zac Efron, but that guy is talented. Right, High School Musical was a singing and dancing film, right? Let's be right, no homo, but he's a good-looking lad, and he's a really good actor. How many bloody skills does one bloke want to have? Do you know what I
I
mean?
won't mind being in for a day, maybe a week.
I know. So, did you watch anything else? Any other films? Or TV
Yes,
shows?
I had a trip down the old memory lane and fancied a bit of 80s and then watched Beverly Hills Cop because I'd not seen it for a bit, and I think we were talking about it, and I just thought, yeah, I'm going to watch that. And do you know what? It's so good, that film.
Yeah, it is.
Really good. But this is something you might not know. Well, you might do, because I think I told you overnight. Sylvester Stallone was hired to play that part.
That wouldn't have worked, though, would it?
And then they either sort of like, never been sort of like finalised, but he either quit or they got rid of him. One at two. But allegedly that film was such a mess, because they're obviously backed out at last minute, etc., etc. There were about 50 scripts, and they kept changing scripts. So most of that film is ad-libbed by Eddie Murphy and Judge Reinhold.
What I was going to say is, that film is basically... Do you know how Ace Ventura is a Jim Carrey vehicle?
Yeah.
It would work no matter what Jim Carrey does in that film. Beverly Hills Cop is an Eddie Murphy vehicle, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got a simple plot and just say, Eddie Murphy, go and do what you want. That's what makes it
But
great.
it was surprising because to find Beverly Hills Cop, I brought up all films by Eddie Murphy on search, and it's surprising how many films he's done. He's not done a lot of films, you know.
Eddie
and a lot
Murphy,
of his films
he's done
have
a lot
been
of shit.
stinkers.
Yeah.
Absolute Reggie Blinkers.
Just off top of my
but
head,
he is
can
a
I
massive star.
Throwing a few stinkers out there. There's one that's...
Dr. Dolittle, Daddy
No,
Daycare,
no.
Dave.
Dr. Dolittle made money. That was a big hit. Yeah, it weren't critically
Don't know
acclaimed.
about that.
But what about Norbit?
Norbit.
Did you ever see that? I mean, what's he
were
playing
another one of
at?
them films which were like where he plays all parts, which is what he did in like Nutty Professor. Nutty Professor,
It's
after
good,
his sort of like 80s, when he basically rose and did like Coming to America and all that. No, Nutty Professor is probably his biggest film. And it is brilliant.
Do you remember what his alias is called when he turns into the buff Eddie Murphy?
It's something like Valentine.
No. Buddy Love.
Buddy Love.
I need to watch that
I were
film,
close.
yeah.
I knew it had
Yeah,
something to do
I
with
suppose.
art, so
Do you
love or
know,
something.
one thing you might be interested in watching, I don't know if you've seen them before, there's a Netflix program, and it's called Getting Coffee in Cars with Comedians, and it's Jerry Seinfeld who does it. And he basically picks up, and every episode he drives an amazing car. And every episode he picks up a comedian, and then they drive through wherever they are, go and get a coffee. And you can actually see all the people, like, general public who see him, and they're like, holy shit. But there's one episode where he picks up Eddie Murphy, and they go out and have a coffee and just have a chit chat. But it's not like they're promoting anything, they just have a chat. And the way Eddie Murphy talks about his career and how he started fame is absolutely amazing. Seriously. There's one with Ricky Gervais which is interesting as well. But the Eddie Murphy one, basically he says that when he first started, he'd get his mum or dad to drop him off at these comedy clubs, and he'd go in there, and sometimes he'd just bomb and cry all the way back home, like proper cry, but then he'd go back and have another go. And he says that in the last few years his favourite thing to do is absolutely nothing. And I mean, he quote, what did they say? Quotation, stop.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote, he says, and I literally mean nothing. I sit on my arse all day, every day.
Why are you doing quotation marks?
It's just what you do.
Radio, isn't
but
it?
no, if you're stuck for something to watch and you're on a bit of an Eddie Murphy fix, go and watch that. It's
You know
really
what?
See,
interesting.
there's a lot of that at the minute.
I've watched it, right? But you know what's interesting? Who would you say is a comedian that heavily influenced Eddie Murphy and a lot of others?
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. But he says when he were up and coming, Richard Pryor did everything he could to stifle Eddie Murphy's career. He blocked him.
Well, they did a film together, didn't
Yeah.
they? They did All of Night.
Said early on, I think he looked at Eddie Murphy as a threat. But you know, in my eyes, Eddie Murphy is one of the greatest, comedian icons. He's a living legend.
But
isn't
this is the
I
point I'm
love
trying
Eddie
to make.
Murphy.
He's not done that many films, but he is seen as an icon.
he? He is.
Yeah, he is.
Even though he's not done a plethora of
Does he have-
good films.
Does he have a quote? Does he have it's just his voice? Yeah, he does do that.
I mean, come on. The way he's laugh. I can't even.
Did you like that?
He talks a bit like this, doesn't he? Talks really quick.
I can't remember his I mean, he's brilliant as Donkey.
Get the fuck out of here.
Which film is it when he goes, hey, taste the soup, and then he comes over and waiter comes over, but there's no spoon. So bloke goes to try it, and then he looks at him and goes,
I don't know.
He's right. I'm sure it's like Coming to America or something like that. Right, old film.
Tell you what, he's brilliant as Donkey, isn't he? You know, a Donkey in Shrek.
Oh yeah.
How good
well,
is he?
So
How much
you
money
then
is
go. I think you go like you bridge 80s. Nutty Professor sort of like brought him back a bit, and then his next role, which is obviously iconic for, is Donkey.
Yeah. Do you know what?
And that's
though?
probably made it most money.
No, it probably definitely has made him the most money.
You know what though? When we mentioned other week people born to play roles, it sounds stupid, but he was born to play Donkey. He fits that bill.
Yeah.
You know it, loudmouth,
Yeah.
gibberish talking. Do it again. You know what?
Yeah, you can't imagine anybody else doing that role, can you?
Yeah. It's like, has anybody watched the Netflix his comeback movie where he's supposedly getting an Oscar? Dolomite is my name.
Well, that's actually it was funny because that's actually that was actually a another film. It's a film that actually exists.
Yeah.
So,
But
in
no,
1970s, there's a film called Dolomite
He's
in
not-
1970s.
yeah, but he's
it's a proper. It's a film where he's a pimp, gets put in prison, and then comes out for revenge.
Tony, that's so Eddie Murphy is playing the guy who played Dolomite. That what you're saying?
Oh
is
yeah, it is.
in the
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
That is how that movie was made, and how the guy Dolomite became such a prominent. Like, I think he became like an icon.
African American icon. Yeah.
But yeah, I've not watched it yet. I wouldn't mind watching it. It's one of them. I don't know if it's my kind of thing, but which is why I haven't watched it yet. But it's got Wesley Snipes in it as well. It's got loads of class characters.
Well, there were one on there that I'd not even heard of called 1,000 Words.
Oh, I've seen that. I've
Have you
watched it.
seen it?
Yeah.
What, with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
That's where his daughter makes a wish, because all he does is talk shit.
Yeah,
so
so
he's
he can
only
only
got
1,000 words,
And
and then
as the film goes on, he's got less and less to say, which makes each word more and more valuable. I actually enjoyed it. I thought
Yeah,
it was
because I
good.
thought,
What's
what
that,
if
is that-
that's alright?
Is that on Netflix?
It's been
Yeah.
out years. I watched it in my flat years ago.
I might get that a watch.
I've not heard
Sounds
of that.
interesting.
No, it's been out. You're talking over 10 years.
But it's funny you should say about this, like, comedians in cars, because this is the sort of, like, rage at minute. Have you seen them all on YouTube, Actors on Actors?
Oh, no, yeah, I've been watching Variety has got a
There's
feature on.
absolutely.
No.
That seems to be the thing now, because ever since, I mean, you've got to probably say thank James Corden for it, because it's a variation. Once he did Karaoke Carpool, whatever
Well, I'm
it is,
sure.
Carpool Karaoke.
Yeah, I'm sure he nicked it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But he made it mainstream.
Yeah.
Do you know what it
but
is?
everybody seems to do this now, where
Do you know what you're
it's
saying?
just talking.
They're humanising them,
Yeah.
aren't they? They're not.
Yeah.
They're not like famous people anymore. They're two people sat.
Well, I
there
used to
chilling.
like that when it were they do it every Oscars, so they get all
Oh,
guys
round
who
table.
were round table.
Yeah.
But I think this is even better. I mean,
Well,
they had what
they-
it were.
I've been
it
watching
was
it
Shia
online.
LaBeouf and
Kristen Stewart.
I've been
Stewart.
looking on Facebook.
J
and
Lo and Robert
the
Pattinson.
Variety put it on every day, and they're doing really random pairings to give them loads to talk about. And one of the first ones they put on that I watched was Adam Sandler and Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And listening to them talk to each other right casually is absolutely immense.
I mentioned that, didn't I? I made a text it saying I was watching that, and it's such a... See, I'm going off on a tangent here, but I was watching some other day, and this young lad, you know when they find young lads and get them to interview people, like as a fun interview sort of thing?
Yeah.
Well, they got this young lad, and they sprung it on him that he were going to be interviewing Brad Pitt, and this young lad, oh my god, I can't... He's only about 7 or 8. I can't believe... You name me one film where a child would massively appreciate Brad Pitt. What film would a young lad love Brad Pitt for? Name a fun kiddie film.
Meet Joe Black? I don't know. It were only thing that's from tonight. I don't know.
I was thinking to myself, what film could they appreciate? They're loving it just because it's Brad Pitt. So when you listen to people talk about the craft of being an actor, it's a different thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
No hype of being a celebrity. He's actually done... I know he's not your biggest cup of tea, but he's done some great films, Brad Pitt.
Oh, no, I love Brad Pitt.
But then when you look at Adam Sandler, who's done nothing but stinkers, who at one point was the god of comedy,
Right.
really.
Adam Sandler, can I just put out there, is absolute, like, he signed a multi-million deal with Netflix, right? So he's like, he makes films for Netflix and they show him and whatever. I'm sure I read somewhere he's worth around 600 million.
It wouldn't surprise me.
He's absolutely minted.
I think I can't even think what my favourite Adam Sandler film is. There is a few. He has done some good ones. Like 50 First Dates.
Oh yeah, no, Happy Gilmore and Waterboy.
My favourite.
I didn't really like Waterboy.
My favourite Adam Sandler film, Big Daddy.
No, I don't like that one.
Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds is
Well,
good.
go on. What's this off? Popeye's chicken is fucking awesome.
That Little Nicky, I was just about to say Little Nicky.
I'm not a fan
with
of that
Ozzy
either.
Osbourne.
But yeah, so what we're going to say is Adam Sandler and Brad Pitt talking movies. Their resume couldn't be any different, but it's like you said, humanise them, get them to talk about. So I actually really
you know
that.
what?
I've not watched any of them.
Oh no, they're really good. Tell a lie. Actually, I think the first one that they put up was Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans.
I've only just seen that one recently, and I thought that were a bit of an easy pairing because they are mates. I'd rather see somebody right obscure. Like you want to put J-Lo and Robert Pattinson together.
No,
that's a strange pairing.
Yeah, can I just say this, right? A little bit of fun trivia. You know what I'm going to say now, don't you?
It's about J-Lo's bottom.
No.
Right.
Years
Pattinson's
ago, I used to do a bit of extra work. And I actually worked with Robert Pattinson for 2 full days in Leeds.
I thought it was when you were a dancer with J-Lo's troupe.
What would you rather do? Like spend 2 days with Pattinson or J-Lo?
J-Lo every time.
No, I actually went to see Twilight.
She's fit now. I bet she was fitter before.
We've lost Tony. I went to see Twilight, right? I don't ask me why. It's not my kind of film. I didn't know what it was, and I'm looking at him. I'm thinking, I recognise him. Where do I?
That's like when I went to see Magic Mike. I thought it were a magic show.
That's going to pull out his pocket.
I was watching it, and I'm thinking, I recognise him. And it was his first. It was his first big movie. When I looked at it, I'd worked with him.
Were he twinkling when you watched him?
And do you know what? And all, it was something like we had to walk down the street, and I was walking next to him, and they were like, right, take 20, and I got fed up, and I says, oh, for God's sake. He kind of looked at me, and he was like, oh, joys of being an actor, and I'm laughing. Look where he is, he's bloody Batman.
Yeah, so if you would have followed his behaviours and not been an arse,
I should have took it.
You could have been new Batman.
I should have took it a little bit more seriously, I think.
Right, let's carry on then. Have you watched anything else, or is that it for you?
I think that's it for me, film wise. Robert.
Tell you what I watched. Well, actually, I finished watching Living With Yourself, which I thought was absolutely incredible. By ending it, I was getting a bit confused at some points because obviously it tells it from the point of view of Paul Rudd 1 and Paul Rudd 2 and the way it sort of crosses over. And it really, really showed you how great of an actor Paul Rudd can be, because something like that it's either not convincing or you can tell the little subtle, transitions from, when they split the scenes. You can sort of tell, can't you, with the camera work, when it's gone from... But no, there were none of that. I thought it was really good. Everybody out there should go and watch it, and there's only 8 episodes at 20 minutes long. It's manageable. So So yeah, 10 out of 10 on that one. You've not watched it, have you?
No, I watched first episode. I couldn't cope with it because I found it very depressing.
Yeah, which it
because
is.
This is the thing at minute, isn't it? Depressing comedy. It's like
No, but what you've got to realise,
and I'm like, comedy shouldn't be depressing.
No, it's a bit of a. In my eyes, I thought it was a little bit of a commentary on that because you've got Paul Rudd, who obviously is going through shit. He is depressed. But then the bigger, better Paul Rudd comes in. He's the same guy. He's just something in his brain that's changed. Do you know what I mean? But you should watch it.
Strange casting getting her in, that Irish comedian lass.
Yeah,
she's not bad. Yeah, I think she's alright.
What?
It's Tom making a sorted face.
No, I did not.
You did.
A thrusting face.
Yeah, he had a thrusting face at that. I mean, does he not realise this is radio? He can't start making thrusting faces.
You know what though? I mean, I'm going to get into Watched I Watched in a minute, but Living With Yourself, I've watched it all, and I thought it was right amazing to just like see this guy who's depressed and looks like shit, and he's fed up with everything, and he just looks a mess. And then there's the exact same version who comes along, who's like well trimmed, looks after.
I know where you're going with it. I got you saying this is your life.
No, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was brilliant.
Tell you what else I watched, by the way. A little sort of independent film and the return of Shia LaBeouf, The Peanut Butter Falcon. So you know them kind of films that sort of there's no glamorous about them, there's no massive sort of hype. If you mention to most people, oh, I've watched this, they'll say, what? It's like an oddball film. And I think it's the first film to cast somebody with Down syndrome in a lead role. Brilliant, is very good. You should go and watch it. Go and Google The Peanut Butter Falcon.
I do want to watch that. I'm just bothered I'll cry.
The simple crux of it is a young lad, he's got Down syndrome. His parents have abandoned him and he's stuck in an old people's home. And all he has as a comfort is his old WWF tape. And his dream is to just become a wrestler. But obviously they treat him like he's slow. No, you've got to do this. No, you've got to do that. Basically, he breaks out, meets the down on his luck Shia LaBeouf, who treats him like utter shit. But Shia LaBeouf treats him as a normal person. So as the film goes on, Shia LaBeouf, I don't want to spoil it, but you should watch it. It's really good.
It seems the sort of film I would absolutely love.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, now we're on me. Well, I didn't know if there are else that's been watched. It's been 2 weeks, that's two things.
And you know what?
Busy, haven't we?
Tell you what.
We've been you've been paddling to get home. I've been working every bloody night.
I finished watching the Netflix show Rhythm and Flow as well, which is like T.I.'s version of the X Factor. Some of the musical stuff on that is really good, but
see, I didn't know if to give that a try because when I spoke to you, you were either bigging it up or saying it was shit, and I couldn't work out.
Do you know what it
whether
was?
It were good or bad.
They'd have rap battles and shit like that. Then they'd flub the lyrics or get lost halfway, and you're thinking, "What am I watching here?" But some musical performances. Oh, I'll tell you what else I watched last night. Actually, it's reminded me now, which I did actually want to talk about this. Finally, a couple of nights ago, I managed to watch Rocketman.
What did you think?
Do you know what? It started off really enjoyable and really good. But do you know one thing that I just couldn't get on board with that were really frustrating me?
Go on.
Taron Egerton. I couldn't get on with him in that film. Do you know, it's an awkward one because you see sometimes when people play other people, They do a you feel like you are watching them. But for me, I was just watching an Elton John impression. He was trying to do his voice. He's not convinced as an actor. I did not like him.
People said he were brilliant. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And what did you think?
I thought it were alright, But I come out of it thinking, oh, an Elton John fan's going to love that. And
Yeah.
I'm not that big an Elton John fan. But for me, it was watchable.
but
There were things happening in it that I didn't know happened in real life, so it were interesting.
Well, that's we all like any of them that you watch biopics.
And yeah, fair enough, it goes into Elton's drug addiction, but for me, not enough. All it does is show him is showing having paddies and throwing hissy fits, which we all know Elton John does. But by the end of it, I thought it was boring, a bit self-indulgent, and just stretched out. The music were really good.
I enjoyed it. I've got to say, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
But I think it was a very different sort of film. It was more if you watched, like, to me with that film, it was as though you'd gone to theatre to watch it, and it was Rocket Man the musical, rather than with Bohemian Rhapsody. That's a proper film, like biopic.
Yeah.
Because obviously this one breaks off with alt music and dancing and stuff like that. But I still enjoyed it.
It's very imaginative, isn't it?
I still thought it was an enjoyable film.
Obviously, you know my setup at home, my surround sound, my big screen. That is the perfect kind of film for that, isn't it? You know, you got surround sound, subwoofers pumping it out. But I just... he started off okay, but I thought by the end of it, Taron Egerton was just frustrating me. It just didn't seem to click for me. Do you know what I mean?
I could understand that.
Yeah. So I'd probably give that a 6 out of 10, I think. Rocket Man.
I'd give it a 6 out of 10 anyway, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Just because obviously it was a well-made film, and it's... But, you know, not
Yeah, it's worth a watch. You wouldn't think, oh my god, I'm gonna buy that, or I'm gonna get that in my collection. You just think, yeah, watched it, good film, move on.
So, are we on to me now?
No, go on then.
Okay. So, I've watched a few things. I'll try and go in chronological order, because the last episode...
Is this because you were flooded in, you had to just survive on just watching films?
Listen, how many times are you going to drop that in? I got stranded, yeah? I had to swim home.
That's what you get for living in Back and Beyond, where they don't have proper roads.
Yeah, it's my Netherlands.
My Netherlands.
The last episode of the podcast we did was the Halloween special. So on Halloween night I watched The Shining, and when I mean I watched it, I properly watched it. There were no distractions, trick-or-treaters had gone, and I really enjoyed it. Actually, I thought it was absolutely excellent.
Do you know, The Shining is the kind of film though where you see, I like to watch films properly. If somebody gets the phone out, somebody's talking, it pisses me off. But The Shining is a film you have to watch intensely. You have to watch it properly, don't you? No distractions, just zoom in on it.
Well, I think it took me a few times before I even realised that the actual Shining is an ability.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I thought it was just about... First time was just about a bloke going mad. Then I thought it were about ghosts.
Well,
and then eventually I realised that it's a mixture of all, including this special ability.
Well, I watched it, and obviously we covered it. We covered The Shining on the Halloween special, so you can go back and hear our thoughts on that. I thought it was really good. But on the back of that, I wanted to watch Doctor Sleep because it's directed. I think it's adapted to film and directed by Mike Flanagan, who did The Haunting of Hill House, which is excellent, like we've mentioned before. But as soon as I found that out, I thought, right, I've got to go and watch Doctor Sleep. So after the floods passed and I could leave the house again, it was quite ironic actually, because obviously in
you should have watched Castaway.
No, well, in this
Robinson Crusoe.
In The Shining, they're isolated in this house. It's just basically this.
Did you start to go a bit mad?
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Chasing Daisy around the house with an axe.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
Yeah. They asked if you wanted a sandwich. But no, so I went and watched Doctor Sleep, and you know what? It's a great film, that. A really solid sequel to it. And things happen in it that are linked to the original Shining, so if you're going to watch it, watch The Shining just beforehand. But Ewan McGregor is amazing in that film. He is excellent. Rebecca Ferguson's in it as the bad guy.
Anonymous villain.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what she's got. She's called Rose the Hat. That's what she's called. But she's got her band of villains and how it all happens. And I definitely recommend going to see that. It's really good. It
is one I want to watch. I do want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, You'll have to wait until it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray because there'll be no other way to watch it until then.
No. Well, I'd have gone with it overnight, but I was watching 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown or in audience.
Anyway,
There you go.
yeah. So, and then I watched a Netflix exclusive film called Fractured with Sam Worthington. Don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah, he's shit him. Anything I've watched
I've
him, I
seen
think
him.
he's shit.
Brings it funny how some
Fall from
actors
Grace.
are massive and at some period of time and just appear in fucking everything.
Do you know why that is?
And then suddenly
Do you know why that is?
they just disappear.
It's because he played the lead role in the highest grossing movie of all time. He's made his money.
He were in Avatar, he were in Terminator Salvation.
He can do what he
were
wants.
in Clash at Titans.
What was that one
remake.
and all that?
He were in
Man on a Ledge. Did
That
you
were
watch
it,
on
Man
a
on the
ledge.
Ledge. I was about to say when he's stuck on a balcony, but I guess it's a ledge.
Bloke on a Balcony.
Yeah.
That was sequel. Yeah, it were all over, it were everywhere, and then suddenly these people just disappear. Or they don't disappear. They go further down as the
Well,
chart.
have you seen that interview going around with Matt Damon where he basically admits to turning down Avatar and he got offered 10% of the film's earnings? So he reckons, in his own words, he's left more money on the table than any actor ever, because if he'd have agreed to it and done it, it'd have come out with like 250 million. So perhaps that's what Sam Worthington's done. So yeah,
It will be, of course it is. Because
So-
Well, it depends on what contract he's signed.
well, it does, yeah.
If he's like signed just for a wad of money,
Let's be right. James Cameron could have offered him 5% of gross.
could have offered him just a sum of money.
he'd have
And
took
he
it.
I'd have
it
done
was
it.
one of his first roles, so he might have just took it.
I'd have done it for 0.5%. Come on.
So yeah, I watched Fractured, and it's a decent, solid film. You know, if you just want to watch a film that's not tied into a sequel, not linked to this, not
So
linked
give
to that,
us
you
a
just
synopsis.
so basically, it's about a bloke who's struggling with like his mental health, he's alcoholic.
Is this right? Sorry, is this the one where with a daughter in an hospital?
Yeah. So
Right.
basically, him and his missus and his kid end up in like a. His daughter gets injured, so he's got to rush him into hospital. But then things start to happen, and he thinks the hospital's not what it seems. And by the end of the film, you are trying to guess what's happening. By the end of the film, I were a bit disappointed. I didn't think it was that great. I tell you what, there was a character in it, and he walked on screen, and you know where you instantly think, what's he off? And then it came to me. He's not been in a film. I don't think I've seen him in any other film. But you know Groundhog Day?
Yeah.
Phil Connors?
Yeah.
Phil? Don't tell him you don't remember me, because I sure as heck if I remember you. He's in it. Like, what other film has he been
Ned!
in? Yeah. Phil? Ned!
Ned Ryderson.
He plays the doctor of this hospital. He comes out and you think...
The problem is that sort of like principle of that film has been done many times before.
Yeah.
Where it's sort of like you then the whole principle of the film is this person mental or is there something sinister going on?
Well,
so
yeah.
like my wife's disappeared. You didn't have a wife. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, but...
High five.
if-
My wife is dead.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking, what's that off? It's for isn't it? Yeah, so if you're stuck for something to watch, I'd probably recommend it, but it's not amazing. It's just something to kill a couple of hours if you're stuck for something else to watch. I watched, like I said before, Living With Your Sin. I thought that was brilliant. And I've also watched the entire first series of American Horror Story.
And
I couldn't
because I
remember
keep
that.
thinking about giving that a go, you know.
It was good. It
Is
was
is it every good these American
Yeah,
horror stories?
no.
'Cause some people tell me they're like proper like fucking
I
hell.
thought it was.
Some of the stuff that happens in it, yeah. There were one episode in particular, and I thought, Jesus Christ, I bet this didn't go down well having this episode in it. Like, basically, I mean, I'll not go into it, but like, there's a school shooting, like in America,
Right.
and obviously some of the kids come back as ghosts, kind of
Yeah,
heavy
yeah.
stuff like that. But by the end of the series, it is good.
And how many
It's clever.
episodes is there? It's just one story
10.
per episode per series.
Yeah,
isn't
well,
it?
that's the thing. It's 10 episodes, I think. Yeah, I think 10. And some of them are 45 minutes. There's a couple that go on for over an hour. And they are good. And it does tie up the whole episode by the end of it. And things start to happen and you think, oh, I remember that. And it is a good, solid series. And it seems to end. But then we started season 2. And basically, you've probably heard, the way American Horror Story works is
The
it's the same cast
actors
playing
different parts.
And we watched the first episode and then a bit of the second one, and it were hard to get into it because you're associating these characters with different people. And then the second one's basically set years and years ago, like in 50s or 60s, in an insane asylum. Whereas the first series is set modern day in a mansion where things start, there's ghosts and what have you. So it seems good, but I need to get back on with second series. I need to try and get through it because I don't know. He's one of the main characters, you know, from X-Men, who plays Quicksilver, Evan Peters.
Oh, right, yeah.
I know, yeah. So yeah,
You know, I know I'm not hosting it this week, but we've only got 5 minutes left. But obviously, this afternoon, where Forget Work, Watch Films is off to a Comic-Con.
It's the new Comic-Con in Sheffield.
Yeah.
So this is new. It's a new place, a new Comic-Con. We're going to give it a try. Obviously, thanks to the guys again, because we've got free tickets to go in, so
yeah,
we're going to give it a good review.
Sent our podcast some free tickets, but we'll be honest, if it's shit, we'll tell you it's shit, won't we? Do you know what I mean?
We'll tell you exactly what it's like.
Yeah. I mean that in about it, because I'm basically thinking it's going to be rubbish, because we've done quite a few of these, and we once went to Doncaster, all the way to Doncaster for this Comic-Con. Digicon it were called, and it were in a school gym with like a car boot sale, wasn't it?
Yeah, it were terrible.
Yeah.
Birmingham Comic Con's on this weekend, and they've got like Sean Astin there and a few other celebrities.
Yeah, so we've gave that up.
To
give our home Comic Con a big up.
Go to Bramall Lane.
See, I'm pushing for us to conduct some quick little interviews with people, but we'll see how that pans out. My goal is we'll try and see what wins, Ghostbusters or Aliens. What do people prefer?
So if
you know what I mean?
If you've gone to Comic Con, you will probably, this will obviously be after that, you probably listen to this, but you might have seen us, I'm going to say come and approach us, but this will be after, so too late. But we are approachable. I know we were approachable, and I do apologise for Tom.
What? But no, we're going to try and talk to a few people at Comic Con, you know, spread the word and stuff like that. So if you found us through Comic Con, welcome. It's a friendly place to be, this podcast.
We're going to hopefully play some excerpts, whatever.
We're going to say play some eggs.
No.
I thought eggs. What eggs?
Play some excerpts. That I don't know how to say that word.
We're going to put some interviews. We're going to interview people. We're going to put it on his next podcast.
Yeah,
so you might have been there. You might have been interviewed by us, and you might be on the next podcast.
Yeah.
If you ever have any requests or anything for us to discuss, or if you even want to be on the podcast, if you contact us through our Instagram, which is Forget Work, Watch Films, follow us on there and send us a message, and we'll get you on, or we'll have a feature on what you want us to talk about.
Obviously, we've had a couple of special guests now. Last week we had last episode we had our mate Boyd. But if anybody else fancies coming on, give us a shout out. I know I've spoken to a couple of people who said they want to come on it, but if you are still thinking that, then get in touch and we can make it happen.
And we like mixing it up, or just send in your requests. Any questions you want to give Rob, any questions you want to give Tom, any questions you want to give me, Tony, fire away. Even if it's just to say you think we're brilliant.
Yeah, ASL, age, sex, location. Do you remember that back in there?
I don't remember that at all. Is this on like a certain website or something?
Right, well, on that note, we're going to leave it there.
Boots on.
And
Shout out to KG Hobby, by the way.
Yeah, don't forget to check that website out.
Give them a like.
We're off to Comic Con. So yeah, visit KG Hobby and listen to our podcast. Good night, God bless.
Bye.
Toodaloo.